Yoski Woski. Should push your man Chan right here. Mind of a Maniac, cell 18, I believe. And I'm still taking a little bit of time off to recover, but I'll be back to working out this week, so I'll get a little bit more content out there. But it's Halloween now, so and I ain't gonna lie, I got some candy right here. And no, I'm not passing out none to none of y'all little badass kids. Fuck them kids. but I'm not really into Halloween anyways. I'm more of a Christmas kid because I was born in December, so I'm a winter baby. And plus, my mama loves the fuck out of Christmas, so every year Christmas was a big thing in our house. So yeah, as soon as this is over, then it's her time to shine. So that's when we start to get a little like how everybody loves Halloween. That's how we love Christmas. So, but on this sale, like a whole lot of music dropped this weekend, like a shitload. These last couple weekends have been dry as shit, but this weekend is different. Like it's so much that dropped that even I was like, hold on, goddamn, I need a little bit of time to process a lot of this shit. I still haven't been through everything for real. Like I just found three new songs right before I started recording this shit right here, and I listened to that like 3 or 4 times back to back. And like I said, I just found out. So I don't know. This weekend was almost an overload. It was almost an overload, but I love it. I love it. That's a good problem to have. It's a very good problem to have. And like for starters, like Big Sean dropped like 5 songs. That shit is the hardest shit out right now. I don't care what nobody says. Like him and Hit Boy, they don't miss. Hit be hitting. Hit Boy be hitting. I'm telling you, like he's on the fucking rampage right now. Whoever he links up with is they not fucking around for real. But this one right here, Big Sean was in his bag. He was in his big boy bag on this shit. Like he's smacking everything. Everything on there. He destroyed the freestyle that he did on the LA Leakers. Oh my god. He's not playing. He's not playing at all. Like I swear he's not playing. Like and he's so slept on. He's so slept on and so underrated that I'm so sick and tired of everybody saying that shit, which everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but ever since he came out with that finally famous mixtape back in what 2011, I think, back when good music had like the Good Fridays coming out, right around My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like whenever he dropped during that time, I was like, man, I knew he was different. I knew he was gonna stand out. Plus, he came into what '09 freshman class, I think, of the Double XL, which is debatably probably the best class because that was Big Sean, Nipsey, J Cole. I think I can't remember if J Rock was in there or not. Uh, who else? It was I don't know. It was stacked. I can't remember everybody in there, but that bitch was stacked. I think Freddie Gibbs might have been in there. I think Currency might have been in there. Like all them niggas was like all in the same class, and Big Sean was in there. He stood out. He stood on his own. Like he's got punchlines, metaphors. He's got imagery. He's pretty much got the full package. He really does. He keeps getting better and better and better. Like, and whatever he drops after this, it's gonna be impeccable. In my opinion, I thought his album last year was the best album of the year. A lot of motherfuckers thought I was tripping, but that was my opinion because that shit should have been. Man, that shit was dope for real. But somebody else who slept on a whole lot that a lot of people forget is Currency. He dropped a project with Harry Fraud. Like they they be hitting too. Like Harry's been in his bag a whole lot, especially through the whole entire pandemic. Like him, Jim Jones, all of Griselda. Who else? Currency. Who else? It's a couple other people has been with, but they've been hitting. Like Currency, he's a lot of people like really don't. A lot of people fuck with him, but at the same time, a lot of people don't fuck with him because he's a certain type of vibe. Like he's he's not like your lyricist, but he's just a whole entire like his flow and just how he raps and shit and his beat selection. He's a whole entire like he's just a feel for real. But that shit with Harry Fraud, like that intro, the opening track, I think it's called fuck, what was it called? Harry and Styles, I think that's what it's called. That shit made me feel like I was in the '80s. Like it made me feel like I was in like in the '80s video game. Like y'all remember the movie Tron, and that's what it made me feel like. It made me feel like I was in the movie Tron. In the updated version that came out like 5-6 years ago. That shit's hard. That shit is hard. Like I bet that shit would be so dope if you was on some shrooms, man. I gotta do that shit. But that movie's so fucking dope for real. Oh my god! But that's what it made me feel like. It made me feel like I was just in a futuristic suit, just riding around with neon lights everywhere. It's exactly what that shit made me feel like. But yeah, like he's under like him and Fraud, especially when him and Gibbs and Benny and all them, whenever all they link up and shit, they be hitting, dog, for real. But an old album though that dropped was ASAP Rocky's Love Long Live or Love Live ASAP. I forgot how hard that shit went. Man, ASAP, he deserves more credit too, for real. Like I like Ferg. I really do like ASAP Ferg, but Rocky, when that shit dropped, that's what put him on my map. That's how he got on my radar, was that album right there, because that shit was so different. Like he sounded like, when I first heard him, I thought he was like from the South, but I'm like, he's like got like a South flow, but he sound like he's kind of like got like a Northern accent. But when I found out he's from Harlem, I'm like, okay. But you could tell he was highly influenced by Memphis and Houston with 3 6 and UGK and Pimp C and shit. You could tell he was highly influenced with that shit. But all like from Palace all the way down to Sandman, that shit rang the fuck off. Bass, that song bass. Every time I hear that, that motherfucker sends me. For I swear to God, like man, whew. But like I said, the 3 songs I just found out before I started recording was by this artist by the name of Reason. He got a couple songs with Wale, Benny the Butcher, Isaiah Rashad, and Doughboy. And Reason, he be repping TD. He's repping TDE pretty good. Like he's the only one that's been really like dropping from TDE here recently. Like Isaiah Rashad, he dropped a project earlier, which that shit was dope too. But Reason, he's been the only one that's been kind of active, I guess you could say, from TDE. Everybody else has just been like throwing little baits out there, trying to hook people and trying to bait people in a little bit. But of course, Kendrick dropped with Baby Keem and shit. But which he's got to be dropping here soon. He's got to be, because he's performing at the Super Bowl. He's performing at the Super Bowl, so he's going to have some type of new material, even though it's going to be like a quick second because of so many people that's performing with him. But he's got to be dropping here soon. I can't wait. Him, Rock, and Q. Like, I just can't wait for the rest of TDE to come through, because whenever they decide to drop, everything else is stopping. Everybody else is in trouble, and everybody else is going to be holding their nuts. I'm telling you right now. There's only 2 rappers right now that when they drop, niggas going to be holding their nuts. That's Kendrick and Freddie Gibbs. Them the only 2 that everybody's probably going to be like, ugh, they ain't really going to like really want to fuck with. Because we still got a whole lot of more people to drop. Like Gibbs is supposed to be dropping. Of course, Kendrick. Savage said he's looking for beats. So he said he wants to drop something here soon. I don't know how true this is. I'm hearing rumors, but apparently it's supposed to be a Donda Deluxe. If it is, it is. If it ain't, it ain't. When it drops, who the fuck knows? But whenever it does, I guess that we'll have a listen to it. But just learn from your history. Just learn from the history. But speaking of Kanye though, like he's supposed to be producing Ghostface Killah's Supreme Clientele 2, which we'll probably get there before we get the rest of the shit with his shit. But that would be interesting. That would be a very, very interesting album right there. Supreme Clientele 2, produced entirely by Kanye. I'm here for it. But and the last thing I really want to touch on though is Hall of Fame Hove. Like Jay-Z is in the fucking Hall of Fame now. A rapper from Marcy Projects who used to be a D-boy, a real D-boy now, who was really out here moving that work for real. Became a rapper, flipped it around, started an empire, or took over the rap game, then took over. He started started Empire with Rockefeller, took over the rap game, had a family, started a bunch of businesses, and became a fucking billionaire. And now he's in the Hall of Fame. That is immaculate right there. If that's not the epitome of evolution, then I don't know what is. That right there is the epitome of if you really want something, it's there. You just got to put the work in. The law of attraction only works if you work, and he's been working for fucking 30 some years to get to where he is now, and he's still got more shit to go through or go to. So that shit's incredible. The first rapper though, that's wild. That's wild, but I don't know. It's been a pretty fucking active weekend for music wise. Like I said, there's been so much music that dropped. I ain't even get to everything. Like, and he dropped some new music too for the movie that they had on Netflix. It's a cowboy movie, but it looked pretty interesting. But yeah, pretty fucking active weekend musically wise. But like I said though, I'm gonna get to the rest of it though. But and like I said, it's Halloween, so I'm gonna get to the eating the rest of this candy, I guess, because my ass is always hungry. But it's your Pusher Man Chance and Marvin Maniac, and I'll holler at y'all next time, man.